Hello everybody, Hello for Life here, bringing us a brand new video. So I know I'm a few days late on this, which is really not good, especially since I really was looking forward to this archetype. But I was having computer issues one day, and then the next day I was just too busy to actually be able to record. So, Dragonmaids! We finally know what the entire deck does. I've been waiting on doing any sort of video talking about them because they were drip feeding us cards, and you know, just talking about single cards in an archetype when we don't know the full extent of it really isn't worth it. You know what I mean? So, to that extent, let's talk about Dragonmaids. Obviously, they're dragons, and they're maids. They're dragon type, though. So, starting off, let's look at Dragonmaid Nursery. Kind of just a wordplay on nursery, and it's adorable. They're all adorable. I love them all. So, level 2 Earth Dragon Effect Monster, 500 attack, 1600 defense. If this card is normal or special, you can you can target a level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster in your graveyard, special summon it. And at the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon a level 7 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. And this kind of introduces the two main gimmicks of the archetype. All of the level 4 monsters have some sort, all the level 4 or lower monsters have some sort of supporting effect, like adding, searching, dumping, so on and so forth. And then they can all return themselves to the hand at the start of the battle phase to be able to special summon their corresponding dragon. Likewise, the dragons can return themselves at the end of the battle phase to summon a corresponding Dragonmaid level 4 or lower, depending on the level and everything. It's very interesting. I know some people are complaining about this gimmick where they just kind of switch forms during the battle phase and stuff, but honestly, it kind of makes sense lore-wise, where like, oh, they go from their maid forms to their dragon forms to fight, and then they go back to their maid forms when the fighting is done. If that makes sense. I think it's kind of cool, at least in terms of the lore and the references to Dragonmaid itself. So yeah, a very good card right here. I think it's definitely probably going to be like a 2 of or something. Because it's just not as important. It's not a starter card. It's a extender. Maybe a 3 of. I don't know. Depends on what the ratios end up being. I actually have not had a chance to play this deck yet, so we'll have to see. Then we got her Dragonmaid her dragon version, Dragonmaid Erde. Just interesting dragon design there. I'm not big on the pink color, but hey, they're color coded, so whatever. So she's a level 7 Earth Dragon Effect Monster, 2600 attack, 1600 defense. You can only use the first and third effects with this card's name once per turn, and all of the dragon versions have the same second effect where while you control a fusion monster, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects, so I'm not going to read that over again. And then they all have roughly the same third effect where at the end of the battle phase you can return it to the hand to summon their corresponding level Dragonmaid monster. So Erde, her unique effect is, as a quick effect, you can discard her, special summon a level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand. It's a kind of combo starter, helps you get your plays going. I can see this definitely being played. I wish it was from hand or graveyard, but whatever. Definitely a very interesting and good card. Gets her in the graveyard, so you can then revive her with Nursery at the beginning of the battle phase, and then you can, of course, return her back to your hand to get more plays going. It's very interesting. Honestly, the whole hand gimmick kind of reminds me of Dragon Roars. If you guys don't remember, the Dragon Roars would bounce back to the hand at the end of the following turn after they were special summoned. So, very interesting. Then we got Dragonmaid Laundry, obviously play on laundry. And the dragon forms actually have their names are their attribute in German, is what I've been told. So that's pretty interesting there. Laundry, honestly, in terms of like adorableness, she's probably my favorite. Just adorable and got that really nice design going. So level 2 Water Dragon Effect Monster, 500 attack, 1600 defense. Is that the same stats as the other one? Oh my god, it is. That's interesting. So whenever she's normal or special, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. And at the start of the battle phase, of course, you can bounce her to summon a level 7 Dragonmaid from your hand or graveyard. Very unique card. Very good for what the deck wants to do, getting their stuff in the graveyard. But the deck isn't that reliant on the graveyard at the same time, so I don't know how many she's actually going to get played of. I can tell this right now, though, she's probably going to get played in my Guard Dragon variants heavily. Heck, the Guard Dragons are probably going to be very, very, very heavily used in this deck until they hopefully one day get hit, so it'll be interesting. Then we got her Dragon form, Dragonmaid Fluss. Bit of a serpentine dragon going on here. That's a Western style dragon, Asian style dragon, more so. Level 7, 2600 attack, 1600 defense. You can discard this card and target one monster in a graveyard, return that monster to the deck. This really should have been a quick effect. I know a lot of people have been saying that, but it really should have been quick effects, okay? All of the Dragonmaid dragon versions have some sort of hand trap effect, and this would have been a lot better if it actually was a hand trap effect, or like if it was a quick effect, and you could just discard her, target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, return it to the deck. Be kind of like a searchable DD Crow. I know some people are like, oh, but then people just played them as a generic hand traps. So what? It's not like we got enough of those running around. You know, I feel like this really should have been a quick effect. It would have made her a lot better. Of course, she has a fusion destruction effect, and then of course also can return to hand at the end of the battle phase to special summon one of your level 2 or lower Dragonmaids from your hand. Sorry, one level 2 Dragonmaid from your hand. Then we got Dragonmaid Tilru, who is probably one of the better ones, arguably one of the best ones. Level 3 fire, 500 attack, 1700 defense, so she's one level higher, and then 100 attack and defense over to level 2s. I guess that's supposed to like reference how she's kind of like higher up in the totem poles of the Dragonmaids, I guess. I don't know. So if she's normal special summon, you can add a Dragonmaid monster from your deck to your hand, accept a copy of herself, then send in the Dragonmaid monster from your hand to the graveyard. That is really good right there because, of course, you get to search and then you get to immediately dump one of your Dragonmaids to the graveyard so then you can revive them with her effect or with one of the other one's effects. So pretty good card right there. Of course, it also triggers on her special summon. So if she's in the graveyard, you can bring her back with Nasri to be able to search again. So pretty good card overall. And then, of course, you can return her to the hand, summon a level 8 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. Next up, we got Flame. Or Flame, I don't know which way it's pronounced, but either way, it's the level 5 fire. Sorry, did I say level 5? Level 8 fire dragon, 2700 attack, 1700 defense. You can only use the first and third effects once per turn, of course. First effect, as a quick effect, you can discard this card and target a Dragonmaid you control. It gains 2000 attack until the end of the turn, and of course, it can not be destroyed by card effects, so you control a fusion monster. And at the end of the battle phase, you can turn it to the hand, special on level 3 Dragonmaid from your hand. So this card is really good as well, mostly because the Dragonmaids, they really don't have particularly great attack, except for, of course, the Dragon forms, but however, you know, being able to pump up a 2700 monster to 4700 can really win you games and can just turn around the tables on stuff. And, of course, being able to jack up your Tilru from 500 to 2500. That is a crazy amount that can result to. So, it's really good for the deck. And, of course, it's a quick effect, thank God. So, really just a good all-around card. And probably going to be the main three for the Dragonmaids, if that makes sense. Next up, we got Dragonmaid Parla. 500 attack, 1700 defense, level 3 wind. Adorable artwork. And then if she's a normal special, you can send a Dragonmaid card from your deck to the graveyard, except a copy of herself. There are, of course, Dragonmaid spells and traps, and a couple of them do want to be in the graveyard. Not all of them, but a couple of them do have graveyard effects, so being able to just dump them in the graveyard and kind of do some indirect searching with one of them is pretty good. Of course, she has a bounce effect. And her Dragonmaid her dragon version is also level 8, which kind of makes me wonder if people are going to play trade-in the deck, because it seems like that'd be pretty good, depending on how many of the level 8s you do play. So 27 attack, 1700 defense, level 8 wind dragon effect monster. Just dawn. I thought that she had 2,000 more. 2,000 more attack than defense. Oh, well, than the original. That's what I meant. Getting tongue-tied. Jesus. So 2700 attack, 1700 defense. You can discard this card and target one face-up monster in the field. For us this turn, that target cannot activate its effects while that monster. Sorry, its effects that activate on the field. Why is this not a quick effect as well? I don't get it. These would have been so much better if they were quick effects. You know, I feel like that they wanted to do it, but I guess they were afraid of people using them as generic hand traps. I don't know. It is annoying, but I digress. And then, of course, she has the two standard effects that all the Dragonmaids have. Then we got their fusion monster, Dragonmaid Husky. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. I know people were originally translating it to Husky. Either one works, I guess. I don't know. We'll just have to wait to see what they translated to for the official release. Weirdly enough, she does not have a dragon form. I'm sure that's probably going to be another fusion or something later on down the line. Seeing as how Konami likes to give these deck build pack archetypes more support, like for the next 2 or 3 sets afterwards, after coming out and everything. I mean, heck, with Rising Rampage, we just got another Witchcrafter card and everything, and I think there's something else coming up in another set. I can't remember, but I digress. So she's a level 9 Light Dragon Fusion Effect Monster, 3,000 attack, 2,000 defense. Requires a Dragonmaid monster plus 1 Dragon monster. That makes Super Poly a potential really good side card, if not main card, in the deck, because, oh, hey, your opponent makes Saruja? Okay, Super Poly. You know, just being that guy, fusing away your opponent's stuff for a Dragonmaid. Anyway, so she's got 2 effects, and both, it's really interesting. I've seen some people call her good, I've seen some people call her bad, but, well, let's see. So, once per turn during the standby phase, you can target one other Dragonmaid monster you control. Special summon in defense position one Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard whose level is either 1 higher or 1 lower than that monster's. And this allows you to basically target the level 3 to summon a level 2, or a level 8 to summon a level 7, or vice versa. So that is really good right there, just getting more advantage and everything. When another face-up monster you control is returned to the hand, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. This is not once per turn, so at the end of the battle phase, let's say you do happen to have like 2 or 3 Dragonmaids on the field, they go back to the hand to summon out their little versions, and then you get to pop 3 cards. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if it's ruled that way. I've seen some people rule. I've seen like whole like Reddit threads arguing about whether or not that it's able to do that, because each of the monsters would trigger. I've seen some arguments about that, whether or not you would get 3 pops or if you just get 1. So depending on how it's rolled will depend on how good of a card this is. And even then, it's only face-up monsters. Sorry, what monsters? Okay, so it can get face down, but even then, it just kind of sucks that you can't get the opponent's back rows either. So it is a very interesting card as to whether or not it'll be actually any good. Something that just actually dawned on me, you could totally play Return of the Dragon Lords in this deck, thanks to level 8. So this card is pretty good overall, but I don't think it's going to be meta breaking. Like, heck, I don't think anything in this deck is, actually, in all honesty. Next up, we got the first spell card, Dragonmaid Hospitality. Adorable artwork. Actually, all these are adorable. I just love them all. So, Dragonmaid Hospitality, normal spell card. You can only activate this card's name once per turn, so you can only activate one once per turn. It's hard once per turn. Spell summon a Dragonmaid from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then you can send to the graveyard one Dragonmaid monster from your deck of the same attribute but a different level, obviously, so that you can load it up. So, oh, you summon out the dragon, then you can send the other one, or vice versa. Obviously, preferably, you would want to summon the actual maid, so that then you can use their effect to summon the dragon from the graveyard. But if you need to, you could also, of course, get the dragon. So, pretty good card there. Then we got Dragonmaid Reception, which whenever I think of reception for like welcoming a bunch of people and everything, I think most people would turn the other way if a bunch of dragons came running after them, but I digress. So anyways, you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. It's a continuous spell card. Monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each Dragonmaid you control. That can stack up pretty quick. Obviously, at max, you can have 6 on the field, which you probably will, thanks to the fusion monster and everything. So that can get 600 attack, and then if you get multiples of these out, that can get pretty crazy. So, second effect, if you control 2 or more Dragonmaid monsters, you can target a Dragonmaid card in your graveyard, except a copy of itself, add it to your hand. Pretty good, just being able to once per turn recur a Dragonmaid. That's pretty nice. And then if it's sent to the graveyard for the rest of the turn, all Dragonmaid monsters you control will become unable to be targeted by your opponent's card effects. I don't know why that's worded so weirdly, but I digress. So this is a good card, but not a great card. It's good because it does let you get more attack power, recur stuff, and of course protect your monsters. But however, at the same time, it's not particularly great at doing that. The attack buff isn't enough without having multiple copies on the field. The recursion is a hard once per turn, so even if you do get multiple out, you can't recur multiple cards per turn. And of course, while yes, it's nice that the spell card triggers anytime it's sent to the graveyard, so therefore, like, if it gets milled off of Parla, or I think it's Parla who mills, right? I can't remember. Yeah, you can mill off of Parla, or with the other one that can mill just the top 3 cards. It's just kind of okay. I feel like this is probably going to be a 2 of at most if people do play it at all. I've seen a lot of people arguing about whether or not this is even worth playing or not. I do feel that it's probably the worst of the cards, but even then, it's not bad. Like, I don't know. I feel very weird about this card. Next up, we got Dragonmaid changing. Obviously, I think this is supposed to reference them turning into their dragon forms, which is interesting because, again, House Key does not have her dragon form at the moment, but you can kind of see the outline here. It's really cool. I can't wait to see what we get for her dragon form and what kind of card it's going to be because, well, she's a fusion monster. Speaking of, this is the fusion spell. You can only use its second effect once per turn, so you can fusion to your heart's content, but you only use its second effect once per turn. First effect, it's basically polymerization. You fusion summon a dragon fusion monster from your extract using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. If this card is in the graveyard, you can target a Dragonmaid monster you control, add this card to your hand, and if you do, return that monster to the hand. So this card is basically like Gem Knight Fusion. You know, Gem Knight Fusion can banish a Gem Knight to add it to your hand, but unlike Gem Knight Fusion, you only can do this once per turn. Gem Knight Fusion can do it as long as you have resources in your graveyard. And I think the big difference is that Gem Knights want to fusion something like crazy. This deck only has one fusion monster, and arguably it's not even like their main win con. So it's going to be interesting to see if we do get another fusion monster, if they do get like a way to like fusion summon a second time. Obviously, you could theoretically fusion summon 2 times with this. You activate it, and then you fusion summon House Key. Then you use its effect to return a Dragonmaid to your hand, and then you can fusion summon a second time. And you know, depending on what the her dragon form is and whether or not it's a fusion monster, that could be something really good. But at the same time, you probably don't ultimately end up needing multiple fusions too often. So I kind of feel like this card is probably going to end up being a 1 of because of its recurability. It's easy to get to. You just dump it to the graveyard with like with Parla, or you mill it with Laudry. Yeah, she's the one who mills, and then you just use this effect to bounce and add it to your hand. So, and then heck, also I think, yeah, Reception can add it to your hand too. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how many people how many copies people ultimately end up playing in the deck, because it's very, you don't need more than one. You can just recur it, and you're only ever going to be really fusion summoning one House Key at a time because, well, the deck doesn't really go crazy with the extract. So I don't know. At least without the Guard Dragons. With the Guard Dragons, this deck is going to be totally nuts with the Guard Dragons. Like, seriously. So then we got the trap card, Dragonmaid Relaxation. This is just adorable artwork again. Once more, House Key nowhere to be seen. I guess she's got her own room or something. So you can only use its first effect. Oh yeah, it's a continuous trap, by the way. So continuous trap card, you can only use its first effect once per turn, which it only has one effect, but it's split up into 2 parts. So you can target one Dragonmaid monster you control, then activate one of these effects. Return the targeted monster to the hand, and if you do, add one Dragonmaid card from your deck to your hand, except a copy of Relaxation. Or you can return a targeted monster to the hand, and if you do, return one spelled trap card your opponent controls to the hand. This is a odd card. The big thing is it's a trap card, so of course it's going to be slow, and of course people will immediately write it off because it's a trap. But at the same time, it's a searcher. Like, you can add any Dragonmaid from your deck to your hand, their spells, traps, whatever. So I don't know. I feel like it might be worth playing a couple copies of because it is searchable. Actually, it's not searchable off of Tilru because Tilru can only add monsters, remember? So it might be worth playing multiple copies of just so you can search out your spells and traps and everything, get to them a bit easier. Obviously, you want changing in the graveyard, though. So, I don't know if this card is even going to get played, especially because of the mindset of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players right now that all traps are bad. So, I don't know. It's a good card, but however, I don't think it's going to get played because of the mere fact that it's a trap card. So, yeah. But because it's a trap card, it's a quick effect, so you can do it during your opponent's turn and be able to, you know, search during your opponent's turn. And since you're bouncing a dude, you can actually trigger House Key's effect during any time during other than just during the battle phase, which is also pretty interesting. Anyways, there's another card I wanted to talk about because it got revealed, and it just dawned on me there's actually another card I forgot about, but oh well. So this is Goki Finisher. I thought we were done getting Goki stuff, but I am fine with this because this card is great for Gokis. Gokis finally have a way to like really close out a game. So Goki Finisher. You can only activate one card to discard's name per turn. Target a Goki Link monster you control until the end of this turn. It gains 1,000 attack times its Link rating. Also, if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. After you activate this card, you cannot declare attacks for the rest of this turn except with Goki cards. So, on the artwork, we got Goki Master Ogre, or All Might, as a lot of people like to call him, because he does kind of look like All Might. So Master Ogre is the best target for this card. Master Ogre, if you guys don't remember, can and must attack all monsters your opponent controls. And since he starts off with, I think, like 2,800 attack, and he's a Link 4, he jumps up to 4,800 attack, and you can just close out the game very, very easily here, which allows for all sorts of just bonkers damage, and you can just win the game so easily, especially if your opponent has multiple monsters out. So, very good card here, and I hope that maybe people consider trying Gokis as an actual archetype rather than just a nightmare engine. Oh, God. I actually have Gokis put together right now, but I'm scared to do a deck profile of it because I know I'll get, like, rating bombed because, it's not nightmares, Result Turbo. God forbid I want to try playing the deck as it is, but oh well. Then there's another card that I actually completely forgot about. Tintangle Gel Riff. I was not expecting a new Tintangle card either. I thought pretty sure that Tintangles were done. Apparently there's another card in the anime that hasn't been released yet, so that's going to be interesting seeing what else they get. And this card is actually like really good. It's a level 3, 0 attack, 1,800 defense. Now if only all the Tintangles had higher defense than attack, but well. So you can only use its first and second effects once per turn each. If this card is in your hand, you can discard one other card, send a Tintangle card from your deck to the graveyard, accept a copy of itself, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand and face down defense position. So not only does it get a Tintangle in your graveyard, which you want, but it can also send send a Tintangle from your deck to the graveyard. So you get two Tintangles in your graveyard right then and there that you really want in your graveyard. And then it special summons itself from your hand in face down defense. This card helps out the deck so much. It's basically, as one guy put it, a multi-faker for the deck. And then whenever it's foot face up, you can take a foot monster from your deck, except a copy of itself, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So it can search any foot monster, which is also pretty cool, and I can see it getting played in other flip decks out there. But the really nice thing is that this just gets you an instant monster on board, gets you 2 guys in your graveyard, and just allows for so many other plays, allows you to actually get out the big guys because the deck does have a lot of tribute monsters for some reason. So really great card overall. And it's even got like the silhouette of one of the high level monsters in its inside, so it's like saying tribute me. So really good card overall. And then finally, one thing I wanted to talk about, because I'm a big figure collector, and I know some of you guys probably are as well, or I guess I can guess that you guys are, but we're finally getting Yu-Gi-Oh! Figures that aren't the main cast or Dark Magician Girl. By main cast, I mean main cast of the original characters. So we got a Alexis figure in the works. This is a prototype. Obviously, it's not colored either. It's from Mega House, who I think they did some of the past ones as well. And it's looking pretty good all around so far. There's something on it that makes it kind of look out of place, and I don't really need to point it out because your eyes are probably grifting towards it. So I'm just going to leave that there. And then even more coolly, is that even a word? Cooler. Awesome? I don't know. We got a Black Luster Soldier figure coming out. This looks beast, and it's probably going to cost me like $400 to get, which will probably not happen because I am not chucking out that much money for this awesome, amazing figure that I really, really want. But I love how it's even like doing the pose from the original art of the Black Luster Soldier. Ritual Monster, such a great figure. I can't wait to see this thing in full color. Same thing with Alexis. Alexis is my favorite character from GX. I don't think I've mentioned that, but just, oh my god, I want both these figures, and I'm probably never going to be able to get both, or either. So, I digress. So, that's all the news that I wanted to cover today. I know there's some stuff for Speed Duels that was announced as well. Might do those in another video. Do you guys even want to see anything about Speed Duels? I've been trying it out. It's very interesting, but I know that like the community is kind of divided on whether or not it's even worth considering. So, I don't know. And this video is almost half an hour long. So, guys, what do you guys think? Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out and goodbye.